The Neo Latino is the name of the exhibition, and the Neo Latino is actually a term I coined over 10 years ago. And the group actually started over 10 years ago, mostly in Hudson County. That's where I was living at the time. And we had about 10 people in the group, and the 10 artists were mostly related to New Jersey City University, or pretty much knew each other from Hudson County. And we were Latinos, all from different Latin American countries, and we decided to form this group to kind of show the difference, but also the similarities between these Latin American countries. And we really didn't have a name until I came up with the term Neo Latino, and we agreed that that should be what the group is called. And the idea behind it also is that Latinos in the United States, we basically have different jobs, from being an attorney, doctor, you have senators, you have politicians, to the person who is washing your car or landscaper. So really just Latinos across the board. We want to represent that in this group, that we are pretty much part of the American society. As I started organizing the show, some of the challenges, of course, was going to be to the work that was going to go in the show, because when you have 15 artists and they're professional, they're very good with the work, the difficult task is always to curate the show, and you have to leave some work out and what you include. One of the lucky aspects of being part of this group is that they're very professional. These artists are very professional. Most of them are professors themselves, and they're very well organized. So that was actually the easy part, to be able to put them together. And again, I think the difficult part was just knowing what to put in, knowing what to leave out. I wanted very large pieces, because this is a beautiful gallery that was basically going to showcase those very large pieces very well. And I figured, since this is a Latino show, might as well have a lot of colorful artwork as well. One of the reasons that I really liked the idea of having the Neo Latino exhibition here at the new gallery at the County College of Morris is because the gallery is spacious. We also have Latino students attending the college, and I figured that it would be great for them to see the Latino professional artists and the different works and different styles, and also from the fact that they're in different countries such as Puerto Rico, Colombia, Cuba, Panama, and Ecuador, and Mexico, and how the show came together, being so different, but yet with a lot of similarity. The Neo Latino group, one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we included female, male artists both, is actually a 50-50 ratio. I think actually there's more women artists in this group than male artists. And being the fact that it's a Latino group, we want to make sure we're not overwhelmingly male, because of the whole male chauvinist ideas of the male Latino. So I made sure that didn't happen. And I think that the age group, we do have different generations. We have younger artists that are in their early 30s, to artists that are in their 60s. So you can see then there's a wide range of age difference there, but and again, kind of almost a 50-50 between female and male artists in the group. Well, one of the what I always find very rewarding as an artist is the reception, when you have time to meet people, and they have questions about the artwork. You introduce certain people to the artist, and they also are able to talk about their work, because that's after all the hard work is done, is a time you get to relax, mingle, and then this is what you work for. You work so people can look at your artwork and then comment on it, and hopefully they'll take something from that exhibition, from that experience of looking at your artwork and then meeting the artist and perhaps talking to the artist. This is not the first time the Neo Latinos have been together. We started again almost 10 years ago, but because we were very busy working and with other exhibitions, it was not until 2014 that, first of all, the opportunity came to exhibit here at the Conte College of Morris new gallery, and I thought of bringing the group back together. And originally there were 10, so now we have 15. But I just think that it was time for it to happen, so I'm glad about that. The difference with this exhibition that has been done in the past is this is definitely a larger exhibition. We do have 5 more artists in the group, and there's already a lot of interest for the show to travel somewhere else. So there's a possibility that it will travel to Hudson County Community College, and that college has a huge Latino population, and I think it would be perfect for it to travel there. There's already talk of it traveling to California. One of the artists actually lives in California. He's a Mexican-American artist, and hopefully in 2 years I have a contact that is interested in also having it in Colorado. So I believe that with the interest that it has generated here at the Conte College of Morris, we probably do have other places where it would travel to. One of the ideas that I have when the show travels to other places is to accommodate the artworks according to the space. So if we have a smaller space, send different artwork. Another idea that I have is that to invite artists, Latino artists from that area where we're going to be showing, and become part of the group as invited artists for that specific exhibition. I think that would be a great concept and idea, because anywhere then the Neo Latino group goes, we'll acquire new friends and new colleagues to work with. Yeah, for me, it would be definitely like a growing effort, and perhaps even a movement, that if whatever state we visit, we'll be able to then have artists join us, and then they might want to form their own Neo Latino chapter in those states or those places. For an artist to be featured in a show, I think is very important, because as an artist, we primarily work alone in the studio. Now, I mean, not all artists do that, but we have that moment in the studio where we're creating, and then to be able to have your work exhibited at a gallery, I think that's very, very important, because that's the reason you create. You want the work to be shown, and you want to have people's reaction and see whether they're receiving your message, or sometimes even for me, I like taking the information that some of the viewers have given back to me regarding my own work. As the curator and an artist in the show, I hope that the audience sees again the diversity of different mediums used by the artists. We have from graffiti to photography, printmaking, sculpture, relief, painting, and the fact that you have artists from different Latin American countries. And we all have a different background and history, and yet again, there's a lot of similarities. So I really want to have those different layers be part of the whole dialogue that's going to happen between the visitors and the artists' work when they come and see the show. It's interesting. I really want to be able to, at some point, include in the show or traveling exhibitions artists who may not be of Latino descent, but that do have an interest or great affinity with Latino culture, whether they have traveled several times to Puerto Rico or Cuba or Mexico, and you can see that in their work, that it has been influenced by those travels and the culture. I think, again, as an invited guest, a guest artist, I think that would be fantastic. One of the most fond memories I would have about this show is actually the interaction when my class, my students, we're here for the reception and look at the work, because most of the time as a professor you're looking at the work and you're having the critique, but it was great for them to see how working professional artists, you constantly keep working, you want to exhibit your work, and for them to realize that this is what you want to do. You want to be a professional artist who stays very active and keep working, and you'll get to exhibit or publish your work at some point. For someone watching this on YouTube, one of the many reasons you should come and see the show is that the artwork is actually very strong, very colorful. There's a lot of concept behind the work. It's very strong to look at, but there's definitely a lot of concept behind each piece. These are conceptual artists, whether they are painting or they're doing prints or photography. There's incredibly strong concepts behind their work, and also very cutting. They're very cutting edge ideas as far as how they're doing with what they're doing with paint, what they're doing with traditional mediums. But definitely, I think it's going to be a really interesting experience if you come look at the show, because you're 15 Neo Latino artists, and we all have something to say in a collective voice.